it's Greg and Fiona here, the Laptop Lifestyle Experts, and we're very privileged to be joined today by the one and only Lloyd Dotson. And we'll tell you a wee bit more about him in a minute, but we actually wanted to share his story with you, and you'll learn why very, very shortly. So firstly, welcome Lloyd. Thanks very, very much for taking the time to sit down here and have a quick chat for the benefit of the viewer. Maybe just start by, because you've got a bit of a financial services background, similar to what I had, but maybe just start a wee bit by saying what you do and what your business is.
Actually, first of all, I want to thank you guys. Big fans, always have been. Fiona, Greg.
Cool.
So it's fantastic to actually be here. And you may not notice, but we're in an exotic location.
Yeah.
So anyway, a little bit about myself. Yeah, absolutely. When I first came into SFM, one of the things that actually intrigued me was your background. Mm-hmm. And I was intrigued about how you guys came about being part of it. Mm-hmm. And that connection, because my background is much like yours. I worked on Wall Street for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And then once 9/11 happened, kind of looked at the situation if I wanted to go back there when that firm was returning once they rebuilt. When that happened in 2004, yep. After 9/11, I found that I wanted to take some time off. So I took a 2-year hiatus and then started my own firm because I didn't want to go back to the city. Yep. In 2006. And yep. That's what I've been doing since.
So the question, and this is a question you get asked a lot, is why are you doing something like the Six-Figure Mentors when you've actually got a successful business already?
That's a good question. I think a lot of times people will do things like this because they're desperate for money. And I think the great thing about this, and you guys have proven that, is that there are a lot of people that do it because they're seeking a different opportunity to create a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Or create wealth in another way. Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect opportunity. So in my case, I saw it as an opportunity to take advantage and jump on the bandwagon for the growth of digital education. Mm-hmm. and that digital economy that keeps getting larger and larger.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's exactly why I did it.
Cool. So you find that you can use some of the stuff that you've learned from the Six-Figure Mentors, you can apply that to your business as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My partner and I were having a talk about that just the other day, about what, now that times are better in the economy, actually expanding our services on the financial service side. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that has to do with social media marketing, YouTube marketing, things like that I've all learned through Six-Figure Mentors from people like you.
and from because a lot of people may or may not know that there's a lot of compliance work when it comes to financial services, what you can say and what you can't say. And you've got very, very strict compliance people, but you can still promote something like Six-Figure Mentors, from a regulatory point of view.
Absolutely. And Fiona is speaking from experience because she obviously came from a finance background and understands the one thing about the business, as you know, is rules are in place to protect people.
Yeah.
And in the Six-Figure Mentors, it's the same way. There are compliance, we have a compliance office and background, but in my financial services business, obviously compliance is all about protecting people. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about working with Six-Figure Mentors in the back office is their ability to work with someone like myself, mm-hmm. who does have a few more hoops to jump through, but who has proven that you can still, even with some of those compliance issues and hoops to jump through, regulatory and disclaimers, can still have success in a system like this.
Yeah, and it's a good point, Matt, because there's a lot of people, they see hurdles like that and they just think, I can't do it, but there's always a way around it. And you're good proof of that you actually, you've got those hurdles, they're big hurdles. Even for us, compliance is an issue.
Yes.
For you, Lloyd, it's like a massive issue, but you just treat it like anything else. It's a problem.
Yeah, the one thing that you've learned, and anyone that's successful in business learns, is that there's always going to be instances, sometimes more than most, where things aren't going to go your way, and there are going to be things you have to push through and around and over. And as long as you do that ethically and with integrity, and that's the main thing that all of us can agree, that Six Figure Mentors and Stuart and Jay and all of the back office, that's their entire focus. Building business from this side with integrity and uniqueness, but clarity. And that's a big thing for my compliance people, is that Six Figure Mentors be fully open with them on exactly what it is that they're offering to people.
Yeah, excellent. And when you finished up, with Wall Street, and you set up your own company, was it an easy transition to make, to be working for yourself rather than answering to somebody else all the time as a boss?
Great question, Fiona. No, it never is. It's never easy to start your own business. I shared with some people in a mastermind I was doing last week, and they said the same thing. The question was, Lloyd, you talk about being successful in your financial services business, and that's fantastic. You're successful now, but we're not. And how did you get there in that? And are you applying or doing the same thing in the Six Figure Mentors building the business? And I shared with them what it took to build the business in financial services and the correlation I see. It's the same. The effort has to be there, the consistency, and most of all, the attitude and the vision that you're going to see this through. And no matter what, whether it's financial services or Six Figure Mentors and Digital Experts Academy, those are the building blocks. And if you don't have consistent action, you're not going to be successful in either.
Absolutely.
And so it's a nice blend of having a digital business, which somehow allows you to escape from the office setting, because even though you're running your own business, you still have to physically be there to run it, to operate it in order to make money. So how are you finding the lifestyle side of SFM, and not having to physically go to an office to be physically present?
The one thing about having a financial services firm is that you are still tied to that physical aspect of delivery. Even though you don't have a physical product, you're delivering that advice physically, usually in one-to-one meetings with clients. And so there is a need, when you have credibility, it's because you have a physical office presence location. We joke that people want to know that you're not working out of the back of a car. And it lends
thought of it like that.
Right, exactly. It lends credibility. It's different on the digital side, because your credibility doesn't come from a physical location. It comes from your presence on the World Wide Web. And much like you guys have done a great job, and I'm certainly working on that, it comes from your clients knowing, liking, and trusting you. And the only way they can do that is for you to continue to put content out there and deliver value, like Six Figure Mentors and Digital Experts Academy teaches you, to essentially brand yourself, give yourself credibility by people knowing who you are. And the only way you're going to do that is giving them the uniqueness and clarity about who you are as a person, and there's no need for a physical location.
And that is the beauty of
a
business like that, because we're still doing exactly the same thing as a physical business. We're still building relationships, as you said earlier. We're still doing all that. We're just using the internet to be able to leverage that sort of connection without having to physically be anywhere, which is a beautiful thing.
It's wonderful. Works for you guys. It's starting to work for me.
It certainly does. And you touched on branding, and so you are branding yourself as the Six Figure Sage.
Six Figure Sage, yes.
Is there a compliance angle behind that, why you have branded it yourself as such, or what's the reasons behind that, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
Actually, it's very simple. Six Figure Sage really came about because when I researched people giving lifestyle advice or making money online, what I saw was there was this big push on people focusing on make six figures, make six figures, make six. And being someone with a heavy finance and consultative background, what I noticed was they were not giving any advice on the truth of business building and the monetary, and made it seem like it was simple just to make six figures. So the six-figure sage is a play on that, really getting someone to tell you the truth, sage being a person of wisdom, and that's where it came from. And it was simply to combine those two along with being a member of Six-Figure Mentors. And plus they'd already taken Six-Figure Mentors, so I had to do Six-Figure Sage. That's basically how it happened. Compliance had no problem with it because, again, it was consultative in nature. We're not selling a physical product. We, in fact, are, even with Six-Figure Mentors Digital Expert, selling education and training. In essence, we're consulting with people for them to better